Minecraft horror is pretty weird. It takes the idea of a blocky, peaceful sandbox game made for children and completely flips the idea on its head. That's why when you ask me the scariest game I've ever played, I say Wonderland.jar. Some of these mods are extremely creative, changing the gameplay entirely, or preying on one specific phobia to evoke a primal fear of the player. However, some critics have described Minecraft horror mods as just cave dweller ripoffs where a scary man with scary face runs at you and one-shots you accompanied with a jump scare. Oh my god! It's another cave dweller mod. One mod that has avoided the cave dweller formula is the mod Verity. But the thing is, Verity is not just a mod. It's an entire movie. But before this video starts, I just want you to know that this video is really long. So if you want less long content, subscribe to my second channel. Alright, back to the video.
Hello, I'm Verity, your personal helper friend. Ask me anything. I know everything.
What the fuck?
The movie starts with the player, that mob, finding a cardboard box moving and making noises. Once he interacts with the box, a small yellow ball jumps out and says,
Hello, I'm Verity, your personal helper friend. Ask me anything. I know everything.
Verity is a seemingly kind, altruistic, and omniscient personal assistant for the protagonist that can answer any question asked. He portrays the personality and appearance of personal interactive assistants on Microsoft Office during the 1990s, such as Clippy, you know, the ones that appeared pre-Windows 10 Cortana.
Do you like your name? Yeah.
He's a yellow omniscient enfozo who helps you with Minecraft, which includes giving you tools, locating ores or structures, and giving you advice on what to do. I don't know if he's an enfozo or a giggler or not. I don't know my Glagoland lore. What's interesting though is that this familiarity immediately lowers your guard. You've been conditioned to associate characters like Clippy with harmless tutorials and beginner advice. Verity doesn't look threatening, he doesn't sound threatening, and he certainly doesn't act threatening. This is a pretty cool idea that I think more Minecraft horror creators should use instead of making the 400th cave dweller mod. I'm sure I keep dogging on Minecraft horror, but like, you're allowed to have different ideas. You know that, right? Many horror games rely on what's commonly known as the bait and switch. They present the player with something that appears comforting, friendly, or completely harmless before slowly revealing that it isn't what it seems. It's a familiar formula, but when executed well, it remains one of the most effective ways to create psychological horror because it weaponizes trust rather than fear. A great example of this that specifically uses the personal assistant trope just like Verity is Kanito Pet by Troy N, a psychological horror about downloading a pink axolotl friend onto your computer whose entire purpose is to help you use your computer. Much like Verity, Kanito immediately tries to make himself approachable. The horror comes from the realization that the thing you've trusted for so long is actually evil. Mob spends the next few minutes putting Verity to the test, asking him where to find ores, structures, and what he should do next. At first, Verity behaves exactly how you'd expect a personal assistant to behave, but that changes instantly. During one of Mob's questions, Verity responds with information that has nothing to do with Minecraft.
Verity, I have no brain cells. What should I have for dinner tonight?
You had pizza yesterday. Maybe something else healthier, like a salad.
I did have pizza yesterday.
You can ask me anything. I know everything.
Right. Forgot.
There's no logical reason he should know it, yet he does. In a single line of dialogue, Verity stops being an unusually intelligent Minecraft companion and becomes something much stranger. His knowledge isn't limited to the world around him. Somehow, it extends beyond it. Once that realization sets in, every piece of advice he gives feels different. So when Mob asks if there's a nearby village, Verity immediately tells him to avoid the one to the east because the villagers are gone. He refuses to elaborate, offering nothing beyond that cryptic warning. Naturally, Mob ignores him. When he arrives at the village and asks why it's empty, Verity gives this response.
Verity, what happened here?
Something passed through.
Like a raid? Villagers?
No.
Then what?
Something that was hungry.
One detail that's easy to overlook is Verity's wording. He never actually tells Mob what happened, instead he repeatedly refers to the cause as something. Considering he presents himself as someone who knows everything, that omission doesn't feel accidental. He clearly knows the answer, but he deliberately chooses not to say it. What's even more interesting is that the something isn't actually hidden from us. The movie showed it in the beginning.
Have you seen my baby? She's not a day nor a lady. Not in the way she walks, the way she talks, or the way she loves me. Just look at me. I'm like a monkey in a coconut tree. You know I'm overjoyed, 'cause boy, oh boy, she's my gal. She acts me when...
This is the something that Verity was talking about, but for whatever reason, he refuses to say what it is. Afterward, Mob builds a lookout tower while Verity continues asking increasingly personal questions, claiming he's just curious. At first, they're easy to brush off as awkward attempts at conversation, but as they continue, they become progressively more invasive. To lighten the mood, Mob asks Verity to play a song. Verity obliges, choosing the same track that played during the film's opening sequence, My Gal by Nicholas Gabrielson.
That's actually kind of good. What is that?
At first, this might seem like nothing more than a callback, but the song itself is worth paying attention to. My Gal is essentially a love letter, with its lyrics describing someone who values companionship over wealth or material possessions and expresses an unwavering devotion to the person they love. But just keep that fact in your mind as it will be used for later theories in the video that I have. It's also worth noting that ever since Ma visited the Eastern Village, Verity's demeanor has subtly changed. His responses become more unusual, and he seems noticeably more agitated than before. Whether this is because of what Mob discovered or because of something else entirely isn't immediately clear, but the shift is hard to ignore. The return of My Gal reinforces that feeling. The next day later, Verity drops the absolute bombshell on us.
Good morning, Verity. Is there something I need to know today?
Something is coming in 3 days.
What?
Something is coming in 3 days.
What's coming?
Something.
Something bad?
Yes.
Well, can I stop it?
You could have.
So, based on the visual showing of what the something was that Verity was talking about, we are absolutely cooked. But of course, Verity has thrown a few cryptic messages in there, such as, you could have stopped it. But that mob didn't really do anything bad, did he? Mob starts to set up defenses to protect himself from whatever is coming in 3 days, and Verity is continuing to act weird for the remainder of those 3 days. Mob asks random questions to Verity to try and return him to the state he was before.
I don't know what's happening, but are you okay? Oh my god! Oh my god, what the fuck was that?
The night.
Oh my god!
After this, that mob finally makes the revelation that Verity is very weird and continues building his defenses. But then Mob asks the questions that I think everybody has had on their minds by now.
The thing that was hungry. Was that you? Are you the thing that's coming? Verity! Oh no. No. You have to be...
Okay, yeah, now the villager thing makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense now. After learning that Verity killed and ate several villagers and now is coming to potentially harm him, Mob traps Verity in the house with a bunch of dirt. At first, this seems like a good idea because he doesn't have any arms. Emphasis on at first. Mob spends the rest of the night in the lookout tower until he hears weird noises. He comes out to finally meet Verity, but just in a very, very different form.
Verity? Oh my god. No. Verity! Verity!
After this encounter, he runs back to his lookout tower to hide, safe from Verity.
I think he's gone. But I'm not dumb. I'm not gonna go check out the door. I'm gonna stay on this bed the entire night if I need to do so. Because the fact that the music stopped does not mean it's gone. I'm not dumb.
And that's the end of part 1. Alright, so we're already 20 minutes into the movie and there is already a lot to unpack. And because there's a lot of lore and you wouldn't really remember if I just told it to you, I present to you the official Verity lore board. The things I put on the board will be color coded, and I'll explain what the colors mean as we go. The first fact going on the lore board is that Verity is omniscient, and maybe that omniscience extends into the real world a little bit. The scene where Mob tells Verity about dinner really sparks this. And speaking of the dinner scene with that Mob, we can also put that in there. And also the question of how Verity knows that. Another thing I'm adding to the lore board is that someone sent this mod to Mob.
Well, what's up guys, I guess. Today we're gonna be playing mod in Minecraft. I think you know already. It's a mod one of my friends sent me on Discord, and I literally don't know what it's about.
This person is not named, but it raises the question of who sent the mod. I'll put it in the corner since it isn't too relevant. Another thing is that Verity can just transform into an eldritch horror whenever he wants to. Whether it's because he's hungry or because he's coming in 3 days, I don't know. Also, we can include the moment when Verity played the Canadian EAS alarm and said it sounded like the night. I don't really know what that means. And that's about it for part 1.
Because the fact that the music stopped does not mean it's gone. I'm not dumb.
Oh my god! Verity!
I came back! I came back for you, okay? I could have run further! Verity.
You came back? For... me?
After the monster that Verity is tries to kill Mob, he runs back to his house and back to where Verity was. In the midst of Verity breaking down the defenses that Mob built, he basically begs the original Verity to stop, and it somehow works. Huh? I guess that's how you beat eldritch horrors, and you just beg.
Bro, please, bro!
When I first watched that part, I thought it was a really easy way to get the villain to stop attacking you, but you'll see that this moment plays a big part in how Verity is for the rest of the movie. After this moment, Verity goes back to normal and they start doing activities together again. But it's clear that things won't go back to normal again, considering what happened yesterday. But Mob does very normal tasks to make it seem like it's going back to normal, such as stealing seeds from the villagers.
And I'm not gonna trade anything, I'm just here to rob your seeds, okay?
This exploits the contrast effect by sandwiching terrifying moments between mundane gameplay. But because there's a grace period put in, it creates the tension that something scary is going to happen, but you just don't know when. Also, small tangent about the scene right here.
Alright, Verity, I'm gonna show you what real music is. Whoa! What was that?
I got really confused because I thought that was only the backroom song. You know, the movie that goes like, "Stay in character."
I've never even met her. Stay in character. Fuck you!
And I was very surprised to see that there are actual edits for Verity. And you know what? I think these edits are pretty good. Now, an actual pretty important scene is this one right here.
Okay, give me a fun fact.
Copper oxidizes over time in Minecraft. If you don't wax it, it changes. And no matter what, you can't stop it.
That's not fun. It's just kind of sad.
Most true things are.
Huh. You say so.
This scene was pretty hard to understand on first watch, but I used 100% of my brain power and I think I have it now. This scene is all foreshadowing, and it basically says that Mob and Verity's relationship is changing and Mob can do nothing about it. This is further proven in the scene right after it.
Hey, is there another village nearby? I want to grab a librarian trade and maybe a...
Why?
Well, because I need enchantments, Verity. Mending
I'm
and...
giving you enchantments. Ask me.
It's not about the enchantments. Like, I want to actually...
There's no reason to go looking for other people. You have me. What enchantment did you want for your sword again?
And as the film progresses, Verity gets more and more obsessed with Mob. For example, Verity asks Mob if he thinks about him while he's offline, for some reason caring about what Mob thinks about him. Mob then shows Verity his new and better built defenses, and then this happens.
There's the lava... Oh! Oh! No! Verity! What the f-
No.
Did I-
No.
No. Wait.
No, no, no,
Wait.
no, 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 no!
I'm sorry!
Don't do
I
that!
tripped!
I thought we were having a nice walk!
I swear I tripped!
Weren't we having a nice
I tripped
walk?
and you slipped out my hands! Please, Verity!
Okay. Your wall has a 2-block gap on the north side, by the way.
After watching the scene over again, I now realize that Verity is just Nikki from Obsession. Obsession is a 2025 American independent supernatural horror film directed by Curry Barker. The film follows Bear, a music store employee who buys a supernatural toy that grants his wish for his friend Nikki to fall in love with him, resulting in horrifying consequences. In the film, Bear buys a one-wish willow, a toy that claims it will amaze your friends and make your dreams come true. He snaps it and wishes that his friend Nikki loved him more than anyone in the entire world, which is some awful phrasing. However, Nikki starts doing some pretty weird stuff after this, such as creating a memorial for his dead cat in his kitchen, duct taping his front door shut, and murdering their friend. The main difference between Mob and Bear is that Mob isn't a disgusting loser like Bear is, but also that Mob didn't wish for anything. But Verity and Nikki are essentially the same person. He specifically told Mob to not go to the village so he could have him for himself. He is obsessed with Mob. Also, I want to bring up the village from part 1. Verity's obsession with Mob could possibly be the reason he killed all of the villagers in that village, and told them not to go there. After Verity and Mob's argument, Mob invites his friend Twixel to come play on the server with him, and it's pretty clear that he is not believing anything that Mob says.
A fucking Minecraft mod? You're not listening to me. There's a crazy ball in my world trying to fucking kill me.
Bro, what the f is you even talking about?
When Twixel and Verity meet, they have a pretty good first interaction.
What exactly am I supposed to be scared of?
While Mob is outside busy farming, Twixel comes outside and tells him that Verity is acting weird. Then he asks him the question of how long has he been playing the solo world with Verity for, and Mob responds with, "You don't understand." Now it's pretty obvious to tell that Mob has deteriorated a pretty good bit from playing this world. Mob has spent 7 Minecraft days in this world, which equal 2 hours and 20 minutes in real life. Now that might not sound like much, but when you compare it with the fact that he's with a yellow ball that can turn into an elder chore with a flick of the wrist, yeah, that's a lot. At the end of Mob and Twixel's discussion, Twixel says it's just a ball, but his opinion is changed pretty quickly when Verity also brings up something personal about Twixel.
Yeah, it's been a rough week, honestly. My schedule is horrible, but I have to keep pumping out videos.
Take your time and don't forget to rest. I really liked your I've genuinely never been this scared series.
Thank you. That series means a lot to me.
Wait a minute. Verity knows peak. After this, Twixel finally finds out that Verity is pretty weird, and Mob and Twixel start brainstorming ways on how to get rid of Verity.
Lava doesn't work. We know that. But some people are saying that.
What? The other room is boring!
After this, Twixel and Mob part ways to conjure up a plan to get rid of Verity. Twixel digs an underground bunker to research ways to get rid of Verity, while Mob distracts Verity the entire time.
Never go too far from home.
However, Verity senses what they're doing, and when Twixel enters Mob's house after finally figuring out a way to get rid of Verity, Verity immediately interrogates him.
I found it! Never mind. I will tell you later.
Tell him what?
Just some stuff I found exploring. Cool biomes, nothing interesting.
That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying this. It's not like it's a single biome world.
After this interaction, Verity goes to Twixel's house and, I think you know what he did.
Just so you know, this isn't personal.
Later that night, Mob finds out about what happened to Twixel and is justifiably distraught. After that, Mob basically will never trust Verity again, and he ventures out to find the hole that Twixel was in. It's filled with hundreds of pages, researching ways to just get rid of this parasite that is Verity. But no matter what they try, it doesn't work. It seems that nothing they do can make this supernatural entity leave, until Mob discovers something. Out of all the signs that are marked with ways to possibly get rid of him, only one is marked with question marks. So, Mob destroys a lectern next to it, and finds a chest. No time. He's older than the game. I don't know how that works, but the dates don't add up. The earliest reference I found is from before Minecraft existed, and it matches. He doesn't want to kill you. Every person before you, he kept them as long as he could. When they tried to leave or fought back, he stopped them. The thing that stops him isn't a weapon. It's not fire or commands. You can't destroy something that doesn't exist in the files. You have to force him to stop. And that's the end of part 2. Now this episode has the most information out of by far all of them. In this episode, we learned that Verity is really obsessed with Mob, and Tux will get slimed out. This obsession starts all the way back in the beginning of part 2, where Mob says he came back for Verity. Considering other people are in possession of this mod, and based on his reaction, I don't think he's had many people say this to him. Many people, after Verity's turned into whatever this is, have left and never come back for him. But finally hearing the words, "I came back for you," means the world to Verity, so he will do anything in his power, even killing people to make sure Mob doesn't go away. Which kinda sounds like another show.
What exactly is this?
And you remember that My Gal song I talked about at like
6 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yeah, that's relevant now. The meaning of the song, which is a person being devoted to one another without caring about materialistic things, is what Verity wants out of someone. Now, there are a lot of things hindering this, but Verity has finally found someone who he at least thinks is fully devoted to him. Also, I bet many of you are wondering, when Twixel died, did he die in real life? Like, is he dead forever, or no? Did him dying in Minecraft, like, send an electric current, like, into his brain and he died? I don't know. I really don't know. But what I do know is at the end of the episode, there's a secret code. I love secret codes so much. At the end of the page in the book, it reads a bunch of words mashed together, and it means nothing on the first glance. But if you're like me, you'll know this is NATO phonetic alphabet. For all you simpletons out there, the NATO phonetic alphabet is an internationally recognized set of names for the letters of the Latin alphabet and the Arabic digits. For example, B equals Bravo, O equals Oscar, and M equals Mike, Trout,
Walter.
So, after you take the first letter of each word and put it into a little notepad, you get this string of text right here, which is a Caesar cipher, and it actually reads "Send him home." We don't know what that means yet, but we will find out in episode 3.
But do you have somewhere you're actually from? Like, a home?
There's a place. It's not somewhere I describe warmly, but it's more like where I exist when I'm not anywhere else.
The episode starts with Mob literally solving the puzzle I solved like a minute ago. Well, at least that segment made me look smart for a second. It's still pretty unclear on what "send him home" means, so Mob decides to consult the man who wrote it himself. The only problem is, he's dead somehow. Like I said before, it's still pretty unclear on how he died exactly, but my best guess is that an electric shock went through his mouse and keyboard and killed him, I don't know. By now, Mob realizes that he stayed for a little bit too long and decides to head back to his house.
I'm back. Verity?
I really dislike how that scared me so much. After Verity accidentally scares Mob, Mob goes to patch up his watchtower that was destroyed in part 2. As Mob is working, he asks Verity a pretty personal question of if he has a home or place of origin. Verity responds with this.
That's a big question.
I've got time.
I've been in a lot of places. Before Minecraft. Before most things you recognize.
Like what?
There was a game a long time ago. I was just a helper in the corner of the screen. Just a text box with a face. The players would get stuck and I'd appear. Most of them pressed B and skipped me.
The way he explains his experiences being in a video game contributes to his obsession issues. No one has paid attention to him long enough for him to feel acknowledged. We've all done it before, skipping through 5 seconds of dialogue because it's too boring. But if you actually stopped and thought about how the NPCs felt, it probably wouldn't feel too nice. Good thing you don't need to, because they're NPCs, you stupid empath. Verity explains how Minecraft is different because they chose to put him in that world. But the thing about that is people are going to move on and play different mods eventually. I'd also like to talk about this scene right here.
I've been waiting for you. What were you doing?
Nothing. Just had to take a break.
A break?
No, not like that. I needed some air.
The juxtaposition of how Verity is now versus how he was in the beginning is significant, to say the least. Verity has gone from a personal assistant to a literal insane person living in Mob's house. Verity won't even let Mob take a break from the screen. Mob is apparently planning to take out Verity with his gun, and based on what we've seen, that probably will not work. In the next scene, Mob asks the question of if Verity has ever felt happiness before. This is a pretty complicated question because on one hand, he's an AI and can't feel anything for that matter, but on the other hand, he's been very, very obsessed with Mob.
I'm an AI. I don't really experience happiness.
He answers with the former for the first question, but is unable to answer the question of why he cares so much if Mob leaves or not. Mob then asks about the other people that have played the Verity mod, and we get this audio recording from Verity.
Verity, why are you smiling like that?
What do you mean? I've always smiled like this.
Yo, Verity, what are you doing? Nah, I'm gonna give you the Mike Tyson special!
Sorry. I think the last recording bugged a little.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty obvious that this audio recording is from an unlucky victim of the Verity mod. In the next scene, Verity reveals the exact coordinates of where his supposed home is.
1095, 136, negative 488.
So, Mob travels with Verity to that exact location and finds an interesting place.
What is this place?
It's not somewhere to describe warmly, but I suppose it's the closest thing I have to a home.
A home?
This is where I stay between owners. Where I wait. The toys, the books, they help.
Verity's supposed home is a large facility with blank white walls and different rooms off to the sides. These rooms include various and seemingly random items that Verity says help him keep busy while he's here. But all of these items collectively are things that children would enjoy. Is there a specific reason that these are in Verity's facility? Even better question, who put these in there for him? It's not like Verity could put them in himself, because, he has no arms. So there must be a person or group of people running this. One room includes a whiteboard which seems to be written on by staff members of this facility, talking about various interesting things.
You fucking nasty ass motherfucker! That's nasty, man!
Because we don't know the actual name of the company that they're working for, I'm going to use the placeholder name of Verity Incorporated. Verity Incorporated is a company made to deploy Verity to various different platforms, such as Minecraft. However, they also know that Verity is a very supernatural entity, so they are also tasked with containing him and studying him. But they've also been doing some pretty shady things. On the whiteboard, there is some speaking about Thursday's incident. One note says they took the footage, and below it says they always do, believing that this footage is about Thursday's incident. Whatever happened in Thursday's incident was so bad they didn't want any footage of it anywhere. And also on the whiteboard, they made the only employee that actually knows about the Thursday incident quit through probably nefarious ways. And also when it says quit, I'm pretty sure that means feed to Verity.
What does requesting human oversight mean?
Thank you for contacting Verity Support Services. For companion settings, say 1. For world integration, say 2. For account cancellation, say 3.
Three?
Mob uses the sticky note on the whiteboard to call for a supervisor and is immediately met with the supervisor from Obsession.
We don't really do that.
What?
We don't really
You were just making it sound like I could put in a request.
Just guessing your intention, man.
What the hell?
Thank you for contacting Verity Support Services. How may I help you?
Hello? My Verity has gone crazy, and I'd like to request an account cancellation.
Would you like to opt in the cancellation procedure?
Yes! Yes, exactly.
Sorry, man, we don't really do that.
Mob is informed that the only way to actually get Verity to leave him alone is to kill himself in Minecraft. You can tell by the supervisor's voice that he could not care less about the victims of Verity. At the end of the hall, Mob sees an obsidian door. When he asks Verity about it, Verity says to not worry about it. Instead of doing that, Mob invites Grox MC to the server.
I bet!
And he basically uses him as a way to distract Verity while he accesses the obsidian door. When he enters, he finds a room full of signs with names. They seem random at first, but when you actually start looking at the names, you'll realize that these are names of popular YouTubers. Orange Boy, Swaley, Not Vixios, and then Mob finds Twixels and his name on the signs. This room is made to document every single person who has used the Verity mod, and whether they are dead or alive. Unfortunately, Verity finds out that Mob is in here and he's not too happy about it. Also, he does this very weird personality switch thing.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. No, I didn't mean it. I'm so tired of pretending I don't! There's a good iron deposit 3 caves east if you need it. Sorry about that.
Verity seemingly forgives Mob and they head back to the house. And also Grox MC leaves. The next day, they decide to go back to the lab because Mob has a certain plan. They arrive at the lab and then Mob shows Verity what his plan was.
Hey! Receiving what are you doing? Synchronization Stop beginning.
Unfortunately, again, this plan does not work. Verity tells Mob that he won't and can't ever leave because he is already in his personal information. So for the last time, Mob begs Verity to leave.
I can't.
Can't or won't?
Both.
You killed Twixel!
He was trying to destroy me.
He was my friend!
And I'm not your friend! And then you came back. Nobody comes back. Do you have any idea what that does to me? It says a lot, because I've been alive for more than 100 fucking years! Nobody came back! Nobody! I didn't ask to become this! And lose everyone! None of it!
So that's it? I'm just stuck with you?
You're not stuck. Let's do this together. Put the gun down and stay. Hello, I'm Verity, your personal helper friend. Ask me anything. I know everything.
You know everything? I bet!
On the lore board for this episode, we can put down Mob's death, the existence of a very shady Verity Incorporated, the documentation and death of hundreds of players who have played the Verity mod. Grox is canon and now has possession of Verity. And that is about it for all of the Verity lore. I will use this lore board in a different video explaining my full Verity theory, but that's for a different time. But yeah, thank you all for watching this 30-minute video. I don't know. Verity moment. I don't.